Today I am going to start new chapter, that is chapter number 8, and chapter name is How Do Organisms Reproduce. Main focus should be there on this word, that is reproduction. What is the meaning of reproduction? So it is a process by which living organisms produce new individuals of their own kind. What kind of individuals? Of their own kind. Means human always give birth to human babies, dog always give birth to puppies, cat always give birth to kittens. It's not going to happen that dog produce kittens and cat produce puppies. Because in reproduction process, living organisms produce individuals of their own kind only. As you studied in chapter number 6 about different processes like nutrition, respiration, circulation, excretion. These all processes are very important for survival of an individual. As if an individual doesn't get food, then what happens? It has impact on his life. If someone is unable to breathe, then it leads to death. And if our heart stops functioning, what will happen? It leads to death. And if our kidneys, they stop removal of waste product from our body, then what happens? Accumulation of that toxic material inside our body, and that also leads to death. That means these are very, very important. These are vital processes for survival of an individual. While this process, reproduction, it is not important, it is not required for survival of an individual. As an individual or human being decides not to reproduce, not to give birth, then what happens? There is no impact on his life. But this process is very, very important for survival of a species, for continuity of a species. Means the older generation that is removed, replaced by the new one. And it becomes possible only because of this process, that is reproduction. How many types of reproduction are there? There are two types of reproduction. That is asexual mode of reproduction, sexual mode of reproduction. Basic difference between the two is in asexual reproduction there is involvement of only one parent. Single parent is involved. While in case of sexual mode of reproduction, two parents are involved. It is the basic difference between the two. Number 2. In asexual mode, gametes are not formed. And in sexual mode of reproduction, gametes are formed. As you studied in class 8, under sexual reproduction, that male has a gamete, that is sperm, and name of female gamete is ova. Number 3, in asexual mode of reproduction, the new individual which is formed, that is identical to the parent, that is exact copy of their parent. But the new individual which is formed from sexual mode of reproduction, that is genetically similar but not identical to parents. Why this happens? Because here there is involvement of two parents, two different individuals. Number 4, asexual mode of reproduction is adopted by lower organism, while sexual mode of reproduction is adopted by higher organisms. So these points are reflecting the difference between the asexual and sexual mode of reproduction. Now, importance of reproduction, that is, it ensures continuity of life on earth. If all human beings, they decide not to give birth, then what happens? There is disappearance of all human species from planet earth. So reproduction ensures continuity of life on earth. Number 2, it is essential for the survival of a species on this earth. Number 3, reproduction brings variation, which are useful for survival of individual and species over time, as well as basis for evolution. So this is introductory part of reproduction. Under this, we studied about its types, its definitions, and its importance.